If you want to hear and see more content like this, make sure you subscribe and follow. Today, I'm having a conversation with Annabelle Holmes for the Kairos Pro Jiu Jitsu podcast, season 3. Annabelle, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Lovely to see you again. Obviously, we met last time for Kairos 2 at the Tommy and Daniel seminar on the Saturday before the event. How was that for you?
I really enjoyed it. I haven't had the chance to do loads of seminars yet in our new gym, and I really enjoyed getting to learn from them. They had some great skills, doing a bit of gi and no gi, which is always a fun. Yeah, had a great time. Got to meet some new people, had a good few roles. It was good.
We did have fun, and some of the moments were captured on our socials, which is, it's always good. So we are looking to see you on Kairos 3 as a super fight in the kind of female super fights that are interspersed between the under 66 kg pro male athlete division. How are you preparing?
I am training as much as I can. I'm trying to get as much comp experience in, see how comfortable I feel on the mat, things like that. Pushing myself a bit more with my no gi. I train mainly in the gi at the minute, so pushing myself to go to a few more no gi sessions a little bit out of my comfort zone. But yeah,
Good.
really preparing. It's one of the exciting things I think about Kairos is not knowing exactly what you're going to be doing and right until before.
So
So
even
giving
the
myself,
fights are a coin flip, are they?
yeah,
Very,
which is
very
exciting.
exciting. Now, I know that you have a fair amount of competition experience, and you always seem to go into it and come out of it with high energy. Is it going to be the same for Kairos?
I really hope so. I love competing. I love stepping on the mats and testing myself, seeing how far I've improved or what needs to be worked on. And I just get such a buzz from it. Like you get that anxiety leading up to it, but actually, I love jujitsu. I really enjoy it. I enjoy competing, meeting other women my
Yeah.
size, similar experience, and getting to give it a good go. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Fantastic. And you are going to be head to head with Capri Fox. And I gather this is a rematch on the back of a recent IBJJF competition.
Yes, I met Capri on the IBJJF Fall Open in London a couple of weeks ago, and it was great fun. We put on a good fight. I came out on bottom of that one, but I really enjoyed it. It was great to get to meet her, to get to have a little chat with her afterwards, and just have a good experience altogether. It was my first IBJJF, and to get to meet her there and then realize we're going to be competing again in a few weeks was good fun.
Good. Now, you train out of Escapology BJJ with Chelsea and Tom and the rest of the team. And I know you're really, really dedicated to Jiu Jitsu, showing up regularly, probably the most amount of anyone training out of Escapology, kind of, here and there, which is fantastic. But what makes Escapology BJJ so special for you?
I really love the community aspect of it. I moved to Cambridge a few years ago during lockdown, so I had a really strange time of getting used to the city and meeting people. And then I started at Escapology a couple of years in, and I just kind of instantly clicked with it. Like I met amazing groups of people. There's a lot of women that train at the gym, which is really great. There's a lot of different shapes and sizes of people, and I
Yeah.
get to make friends and connections with people that I just wouldn't have done in my normal life. It's really good.
Yeah, I think, of all the gyms, having trained up there with you at the seminar and just seeing the socials and the environment and the community that Tom and Chelsea are building, it is just incredible. And it's incredibly inviting for those that, like you say, may not meet other individuals like we have through this, in our regular kind of day-to-day lives. And it just puts us in a position of vulnerability almost, actually. Do you kind of feel that?
Yeah, I think you're putting a lot of trust in the people around you when you train together. And, you might not know each other when you step on the mats, but as soon as you pair up with someone, you're trusting them to enjoy the sport and spar with you appropriately and to do all of those things. And I've never felt, I'm very lucky to have never been made uncomfortable in those situations.
Yeah,
All of the people I train with are very respectful of our size differences, of our,
yeah.
strengths, what we're trying to work on. It's There's a sparring partner for every occasion, which I like. You get to have a bit of everything.
Yeah, it certainly is kind of very varied and brings together, like you say, so many different people. But we are both in the over 75 kg kind of female divisions as blue belts, and we've been campaigning to get more weight categories above that level, because I think some people don't necessarily realize that for women in particular, everyone over 75 kg is bunched into one category. But seeing you at the IBJJF London Fall Open and various other IBJJF events and other kind of fight promotions are now starting to showcase women over that 75 kg. How important has that been for you to appear in your own kind of definitive weight category, rather than fighting maybe 40 kilos difference between you and the next competitor?
It makes a lot of difference because I think it allows me to kind of showcase my abilities and my skills within my weight category,
Yeah,
and to show that actually there's a huge range of women over 75 kilos. I sit around like 86 at the moment, which is great. At a couple of competitions, a couple of years ago, I was 90 kilos and I was fighting people who are 130 kilos.
yeah,
And that is a huge range. And our jujitsu is very different because we're in very different bodies and we're in
yeah,
very different kind of builds. So actually, the work that the 75 plus community has put into narrowing those categories and
yeah,
making it so actually it's more equitable, that if you're 85 kilos, you're going to fight someone who's around that
yeah,
weight. You're going to fight someone who is an appropriate size for you, and it keeps everyone safe, and it makes sure that actually, people who are 130 kilos get to fight other people who are their size, and they
yeah,
get to experience what it's like to train with someone who's actually a good match for you. And
yeah.
competitions are a really great way of like exploring that and testing your jujitsu, but you need to test it against people who are like you. Otherwise, you're not really judging yourself fairly, I don't think.
Yes. I think a number of us have walked away from competitions feeling quite disheartened and kind of, I'm going to say, upset because of our performance. Yes, we may still need to improve our jiu-jitsu, and that's a kind of understood, but um, kind of giving ourselves more of a hard time than we need to for that particular kind of point in our lives, where for most people, competition is an opportunity to measure their own development and performance in jiu-jitsu, but against people of the same age and the same weight category. And obviously that's improving for all of us now, which is fantastic. But I do know, before we started chatting on this recording, that it's not always been quite so easy, and you've had a number of kind of refunds on competitions still, so there's still work to do. How has that kind of made you feel about your competition?
It's made me, I was quite frustrated earlier in the year. Like, I managed to get my blue belt in April, which was a huge accomplishment for me. And I was lucky enough to get it on the podium at a competition. And it really fueled my love of competition. So I set myself this goal that, every 6 weeks I was going to go and compete. I'm going to go to Euros next year. I was like, I need to get this competition schedule really tight so that I'm not anxious going on the mats. I've got that experience. I
Yeah,
understand what competing at blue belt is going to feel like before I step on that big stage. And then actually to put my name down for those competitions, to pay for them. And then the week before they say, oh, sorry, there's no suitable matches. You're like, oh, great. because you don't just go into a competition not having done anything for it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm prepping for these comps, I'm training for them, I'm
Mhm.
putting in all that extra effort to feel good on the mat, and actually I'm then not getting to see how it's being tested because I'm not getting to those competitions because
Yeah.
there's no one in my division.
Yes.
And
It does sound like there's some work to do, and we can kind of come back to that in a moment. This is the Kairos Free Pro Jiu Jitsu podcast with me, Lou Temlett, coming to you from the UK and hosted on the 16th of November, Kairos 3, at Escapology BJJ, and sponsored by 866 Jiu Jitsu and Wellness Camp, the Gi Repair Lab, Scramble Brand, Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast, Two Chefs, Bitug, and Tanned Soft. Today, I'm having a conversation with Annabelle Holmes, who is one of the female SUPERFIGHT competitors at the event. So, Annabelle, we were just kind of collecting our thoughts in some of the ways that we can make it more equitable, more kind of timely, more rewarding for those of us that really do want to compete and put everything into it. Maybe we can think about some of those things and get back to promotions and event organizers to help us a bit more, maybe kind of more timely feedback and response. um, might save ourselves. But I'm so pleased that you are still putting yourself forward for competition, and equally Kairos 3. You already have a busy life. How do you fit in your training?
as much as possible. I work a lot of shifts. My job, it has a very sporadic schedule. So sometimes there will be weeks where, I work 4 13-hour shifts a week, and getting on the mats just isn't as possible as other weeks. So I really try and fit it in where I can. If I see a seminar, I try and go. I try and get as much experience of different jujitsu as I can, as well as my regular training.
Yeah,
Sometimes there are weeks where I'll only make it on the mats, for 2 or 3 hours. Sometimes I'll be there every day. It really depends on scheduling. And
yeah.
it's one of those things, I'd be on the mats all the time if I could. I love it. I really enjoy it. But life is life, and I can only do
Yep.
so much.
Until such time that all of us can, pause or postpone or whatever our day lives, we will continue doing as much as we possibly can until such time we are able to train 24/7, which I think we probably all would.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to training with anything specific in mind in preparation for Kairos 3?
I'm really just trying to solidify the game that I have, to work on the things that I know work for me reliably, and then to also work on the things that I know I consistently trip up on.
Yeah,
So, like, I'm talking to Vanessa and to Tom and to Chelsea and going, look, this keeps happening to me. What am I going to do about it? And
yeah,
actually, kind of being quite reflective of, the errors that I've made and how I can build on it in a positive way so that if I end up in that situation again, I'm not sat there going, oh, back again to this
yeah,
one, and I can build on it. And that's kind of
yeah.
been, yeah, solidifying everything that I have and patching up any holes that there might have popped up from
Good.
my latest comps.
That sounds like very good tactics. Um, Now, talk to me about, you know, I guess the Sunday the 16th. You're going to be doing all the training before that. Um, Now, you've talked about doing gi and preparing a bit more for your no gi experience, which you're still building upon. What are you hoping for on the day?
I want to go out there and put on a bit of a show. I want to go out there and show what super heavyweight women can do, what super heavyweight jiu-jitsu looks like and can look like, and go out there and go that I've given it everything, that I've really solidified all that training and all the work that I've put on,
Yeah,
regardless of the result. I want to go out there and say, yeah, I did good jiu-jitsu today. That is what I'm aiming for. Say
good.
I really left it all out there and I gave it 100%.
Amazing. I'm feeling that energy building for November. It's going to be incredibly exciting. I am so looking forward to all of the matches, gi or no gi, and all of the kind of variations in people's games. Do you have any advice for anyone approaching invitationals like Kairos or any of the others, in terms of where you're coming from, being a female, being a blue belt, being super heavy? What advice would you give to those women out there?
I want to say just make the most of it. Like there's so many opportunities out there, and actually, when you pick them up, I had a bit of imposter syndrome when I was asked to do this. I was like, oh no, like am I gonna do good enough? Like, is this the right time for me? And actually, I'm not gonna know that until I do it.
Yeah.
But it's such a good opportunity, and just the opportunity to put myself out there and to really give it a go is something that I could wait another 10 years to happen. Like, I want to make the most of it now and
Yeah.
put myself out there and show what I can do and test what I can do. And you've got to keep doing that, because you can train on the mats all the time. You can train with the same people every week. But until you put yourself out there and test it against other things,
Yeah.
you miss how you've improved.
And do you think the kind of special event that is Kairos 3 and being Escapology BJJ and having it live streamed, do you think that's going to give you anything kind of more fantastic to aim towards and kind of show up with on the day?
I mean, I hope so. I am very excited about it. I'm very buzzed about it. It's my home Escapology. I love that it's there and that I get to be in an environment that I've seen all my growth in and then test it on the day. And I've not had a live stream fight before. I'm very excited to see and to watch back, and to, my family to see me fight. That's never
Yeah.
happened before. It's a great opportunity and so different from what I used to, that actually is so exciting, and I just can't
Yeah.
wait, really. I'm gonna go and do it.
Well, I am very excited to be able to be cheering you on from the side of the mats on Sunday, the 16th of November at Kairos 3. I wish you all the luck and all the energy and as much time as you can possibly fit into your schedule to train and solidify your existing game and just keep growing.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. I will see you very, very soon.
See you soon. Thank you, Lou.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell your friends about this show and the live stream if you can't get to Escapology BJJ for Kairos 3. Also, go and follow all the sponsors of this event if you're not already. The links will be in the show notes. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the Kairos Pro Jiu Jitsu podcast.